I'm back with one of my other favorite stories today called Caps for Sale. And as I read this book, you can do some actions along with me, and there's a lot of repetitive phrases that you'll be able to pick up on and say along with me. Here we go. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, and a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets holding himself very straight and tall, and as he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, do it with me, ready? "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said, and he walked out of town slowly. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," he thought. He sat down slowly and put his hand to feel if his caps were all straight. First he felt his own checked cap, then all of the gray caps, and all of the brown caps, and all of the blue caps, and all of the red caps. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time, and when he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were all in the right place. And all he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. And he looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey was a gray, a brown, a blue, or a red cap. The peddler looked at the monkeys, and the monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do, so finally he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking a finger at them, "you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss." This made the peddler angry. He shook both his hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their hands back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss." Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and shouted, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss." By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both of their feet back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss." At last he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. And all of the gray caps, and all of the brown caps, and all of the blue caps, and all of the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then all of the gray caps, and all of the brown caps, and all of the blue caps, and on the very top, the red caps. And slowly, slowly he walked back to town calling, ready? "Caps, caps caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. The end.